Check, check. Yeah. You got levels?
Yeah. There's levels to this shit, young boy.
All right, audio syncing. Cool. Podcast time. Tall glass. You know what I realized about tall glass?
What?
If you take off the first letters, it's all ass.
Ooh. Which I'm all about.
And I'm not. I'm team no
Pussy.
butt stuff.
Pussy.
It's real.
Coward.
So I wanted to kick off. I feel like we had a pretty exceptional first episode.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah, it was cool. Lots of good comments. I want to start with the first subject today being bullying.
Hold on. Before you get into that,
Yeah.
I just want to say that we are all up on social media now. So you can get us on Facebook at Tall Glass Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram also at Tall Glass Podcast. Twitter, Tall Glass Pod. Apparently you can't have the word cast in it. It's too long. So just Tall Glass Pod for Twitter.
Weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre. You can email us at tallglasspodcast@gmail.com. So if you're interested in being a guest or you want to yell at us because you hate us or
Suggest something that we should talk about.
yes, you can also do that. You can find our audio at tallglass.podbean.com. And also I wanted to mention that we have a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking to have multiple guests at a time and some other technology things that we need as far as requirements go.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to or have the means to, you guys can donate some money towards that. It would be very helpful. Your boy is turning 30 this month.
Whoop, whoop.
In like 2 weeks. So if you want to get Daddy a birthday present, Daddy would like to have money on that Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Or you can tell your friends and family to donate too. That would be cool. You can tell your neighbor. You can tell your neighbor to bake me a pie too.
All that.
I like citrus pies. Daddy likes citrus pies.
Citrus pies.
So like key lime pies, lemon
Okay.
meringue pies,
Okay.
orange Julius pies. I
Wow.
don't think that exists.
Make it happen.
Fuck, a cream pie. I don't give a shit.
Fuck, a green pie.
Also, if anyone's looking to be a sponsor,
Yeah.
you can do that as well.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to be all like this? Welcome to the Tall Glass Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Daddy's Citrus Pies. Looking for a pie, specifically citrus? Type in the code TALLGLASS and get 10% off your citrus pie. That could be you. If you decided to be sponsored. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that shit out of the way before we started.
Yeah, man. There's levels to this shit. We got to make sure we hit all the levels.
Yeah. That sounded pretty good though, right? That sounded legit.
It was on
Kinda.
point, I think.
Except for the citrus.
Sorry, I'm trying to
shit.
get this. I was annoyed last time with the cameras. We didn't take enough time getting the cameras like equal. So I'm like all obsessed, and then I'm gonna take this off this. So I'm stop looking at the screen.
And if anyone decides to start a business specifically for citrus pies, please shout out your boy.
Yeah,
Like you can't just
clearly that was
take
Mark's idea.
my specifically only pie baking company in the realm of citrus and not shout out your boy.
Right.
So. And if you take the name Daddy's Citrus Pie Company, you better give me some sort of cut of that too. I'll take like 10%.
Yeah, I mean, I would be willing to take a point. Give me 1%.
Yeah, fuck
That's
it.
If you're
As
doing
long
the
as-
work,
Shit, I'll take a free a year supply of citrus pie.
just send them pies.
Oh, fucking silly shit.
Goofy.
So how was your week, man?
It's actually been pretty dope. I'm setting up a social club called Magnum Opus. You're aware of it, but a lot of our listeners.
Tell me more about it, please.
Listeners are probably not aware of it. So I'm starting like this social club is called Magnum Opus. It's a club for artists, and the idea is that I would like to see more art happen in all different types of forms and fashions. That's why I came back to Michigan, was to kind of tackle this idea. And so I've been reaching out to a lot of people I've met over the years through music and different forms of art. And I'm trying to get us to all come together once a month to have meetings and strategize and approach the creative scene around here and hopefully cultivate something beautiful. So my week has been a lot of meetings with different people. I'm in pitch mode right now, so I'm just going around pitching the idea to a whole bunch of people. So it's been a lot of that. My time's mostly focused on that. And then the beginning of the week, it was going through all the hurdles with getting the podcast video right.
Sure. Now, if someone is interested in this or got invited to this, what kinds of things would they expect? Like, I know, like, is there like fees? Like, can you tell us about anything, or is it still kind of?
I mean, I want to keep it like a private club, but I can explain some of the things that we're about. And it is open to everybody. As long as you're an artist or want to help the arts in some type of way, it's an open platform for you to be a part of. It is for the first year, I'm doing something really special for it. I'm going to charge $25 membership fee, and that's for the whole year. And then essentially what I'll be doing is taking that money that we collect as a whole for the group. So there'll be some mass amount, after everybody signs up and pays $25. It then becomes a budget for the group. So we can do things like print flyers or Facebook marketing, advertisement, whatever's necessary. The bigger the event, the more we want people to know about it. And then I'm also going to take the first lump sum and put it all into one event that we work on as a group. So like at the meetings, we'll spend half an hour at each meeting working on the event that we're going to set up as a group. And then that event will be a fundraising event. So it's all about building up, taking the first investment, trying to flip it, turn it into more money, then taking that and doing another event, try to flip it, turn it into more money. And then hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a fairly large size budget just based off of this initial first $25 a person investment. And then when we're standing there at the end of the year with this budget, we can actually do something like get a clubhouse together,
right?
Or, production facilities of some sort where, there's like a set place where you can come and turn everything on and record a podcast if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Or go in and make your album, and there's producers and engineers and all that are part of the group already, that, you can reach out to and have them help you create your album or your single or your music video. I want to do video production. I want to do art galleries. I want to do open mics, spoken word, poetry, everything.
It's awesome.
It's a cool idea.
For sure.
It's a cool idea. There's over 30 people actively wanting to be a part of it now.
Showing interest.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're holding the first meeting in Muskegon at Heritage Landing May 27th, which is the last Sunday of May. And all the meetings from this point on will be the last Sunday of the month. And it's pretty cool.
Tight.
Pretty cool. So that's the gist of that. I just wanted to plug that a little bit.
Definitely.
I think it's a cool thing.
Are you going to ask me about my week?
How was your week, honey?
Good. I got some more Trump backlash that I'm sure we'll discuss a little bit into.
Ooh.
Of course.
You're meeting the mob now officially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a new place that I'm moving into too.
Yeah.
Which is tight.
That's exciting, right?
It's a bigger room. Only reason why I bring that up on the podcast is because there might be a chance that we'll be relocating possibly.
Yeah.
And it'll be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be like a really fun environment to be in. So we'll make it extra tall, glassy.
Ooh,
You like that?
I
Come
do.
on.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hang up pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, get our whole vibe.
For sure. Be a little bit more personal to us.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's exciting. You're moving into a new place.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else new this week?
No, just working and basically that, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that drama.
That drama.
That drama. People didn't like the Trump post.
I knew it was going to happen,
Most
dude.
people did, though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, just for the sake of this, like 99.9.
Yeah.
And then there was
9.
one person that factored in that 0.1%.
Yeah. I do want to clear up the air and say that it's cool that people are speaking out against it or for it. Either side, it's cool. No, everybody should have their own opinion.
No, I know. I'm just playing.
Even if it's a misguided opinion. You're still free to have it. That's kind of the beauty of the society we live in.
Yeah.
Is even if you're wrong, you're free to be wrong.
Very true. True.
I'd just kind of in reference to that, I just wanted to talk about bullies for a second. And I just want to read the definition
Sure, do it.
according to Google. So bully,
Like the Webster's Dictionary?
yes, probably they pull the most relevant definition when you search a word.
Word.
I'm not sure where they're pulling this from. It says bully, noun. Actually, we'll use the verb because it's being used as in reference to what I'm talking about. It's an action. So bully as a verb is to use superior strength or influence to intimidate someone, typically to force him or her to do what one wants. Right? We've seen a lot of bullying in our little social experiment that we did. Both on my side, my character was being much of a bully, for sure. But the other side of it is also bullying. I don't think people recognize that they're being bullies. And to be honest, some of these people are probably anti-bullying, and they don't even realize that they're bullying.
Right.
They're actually actively bullying people. When you hold a specific belief, it's a belief, you know. It's based on opinions and experiences that you've been through. I think, like, in any sort of belief system, it's wrong to not try to make somebody think the same way, but to, like, enforce it in such a way where it's like a line that you draw. It's either like you believe and you agree with me, or we can't interact.
Yeah.
That's bullying. That's like saying you don't get to enjoy me as a person and the good, the good qualities of who I am and whatever. You don't get to enjoy any of that because we disagree on this thing. Trump happens to be one of these things that are drawing people to one side or the other right now. And I just wanted to make that point. Like both sides are kind of bullying. And it's not just one side. You both are kind of being bullies and being like, no, you need to believe, when really we kind of just need to meet in the middle and be cool. Like, we probably agree a lot more than we disagree. You know, all these different people and different sides and stuff. Like, ultimately everybody's pushing for good.
Right.
They want a nice, comfortable society. They want it to be enjoyable, and it is. If you look around, you're aware of it. Like, we got a pretty dope society.
Right.
We're doing all right.
Well, I think it's weird too because I think I've talked about this with you before, but everyone is so, anti-Trump and blah, blah, blah and all that, which I understand. I didn't
totally understand.
I didn't vote for Trump either. I'm not on board with the majority of what he's on board with. But you also have to keep in mind, like, he is our president. You can't change it now.
Right.
So you already have to accept that. Now that he's president, if he fails, we all fail. So if something happens that he does and, we fail as a country or whatever the case may be, you don't win out of that.
We all lose.
So why is it so fucked up for people to just be like, fuck Trump, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, so if he fails, what do you get out of that? You get the prideness or whatever that, oh, see, I told you Trump sucked. Like, tight. Like, that's what you get out of that? Like, that's what you're pulling for? You want to see Trump fail so fucking bad, but then he does fail, and what do you get in the end?
Yeah.
You get, oh, see, I told you Trump sucked.
We all failed.
I don't fucking understand that.
Yeah.
I don't fucking like Trump either, dude.
Yeah.
But you have to accept it.
Yeah, it's there.
Nobody liked fucking George Bush either.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking warmonger piece of shit.
Yeah.
But you have to just deal with it, people. Like, stop being fucking ridiculous about it. Like, it's just accept the reality, and that's what it is. Like,
and stop
you have no control.
Stop pulling the bigot card or the race. Like, I understand you believe Trump is a racist and a bigot. Like, I understand people and why they believe this. And you also need to understand that there are people out there that don't agree with you. They don't believe he's a racist. And they don't believe these certain things, this bigotry and all of that. Right. And like, that is not why they voted for him. And it's like you get lumped into a certain category, a group of people, because you made the decision to vote for him or that you back him and support him as our president. And that somehow correlates with you being a bigot or a racist or, whatever. You can go all the way down the list, misogynist, whatever. And I don't think that's fair. Just from my experience, like I really don't have bad experiences with people in my history. I have really great experiences with people in my history. I've reached out to all different types of people, and I've sat and had all types of deep conversations with all different types of people. And never once in my life has it ever been like, I'm not going to talk to, or I'm not going to take someone serious because of the color of their skin, or I'm not going to take somebody serious because of their gender. Or, like, these thoughts do not cross my mind. And to be lumped into a category of people that think like this, when really the reality of the people who think like this is like so small in comparison. It's such a small group of people. Like, stop lumping everybody together. This identity politics bullshit is bullshit. It's not, like, that's not why people voted for Trump. Maybe some. All of them, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous claim. And if people are following that, it's extremely offensive. You're being a bully just because you want your thing to be the most important thing. Like your opinion, it blows my mind, man. It's the mob. This shit with the mob drives
fucking
me nuts.
Exhausting too. It drives me fucking insane. I just don't get why people I don't understand why it's in what people have inside themselves where they want someone to fail. They want to see them fail because they get some sort of satisfaction out of it. Like, to me, that's like some shit that I would have related to at a younger age.
Right.
Like, for example, when I was in college going to school, blah, 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 all that grind, I remember it being sort of a competitive atmosphere as far as you want to have a really good piece come critique day so that you can easily shine your work and you can avoid criticism and you can fucking be the top of the class. You know what I mean? So I understand the competition, and I would be lying if I said that, during my first 2 years of college that I didn't want to see people fail. I mean, I totally wanted to be on the top, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but as I grew and started to go through more years, it was I much rather have a bunch of talented designers come out of this class with me so that we all learn and take from each other And yes, I don't agree with some people's work. And yes, I like some people's work over others. But towards the end, it was no longer about competition. It was like, let's all see like what we can take from each other to be dope ass designers. And then once we graduate, we'll not only look good to ourselves, we also make the program look good.
Yeah.
And then we all get fucking baller ass jobs. So it's
Right.
like, it's almost like this fucking people not getting over themselves and like having that mob mentality and all that shit. It just seems like they're just not progressing as people almost.
Yeah, I agree.
Or their like mindset isn't progressing, or like they still love that satisfaction of watching people fail.
It's weird.
It's fucking dumb, dude.
So
It's
weird.
boring. You're a boring, stupid, boring person, dude. Grow. Like fucking life isn't about watching everyone else fail so that you fucking feel good about yourself. It's
Right.
dumb.
Do something good for yourself.
Right. Why sit there and like hope for a bunch of people to fail and then you not do anything with your life, not take any risks, not do fucking anything, and then be like, oh, I'm not failing, so whatever.
It's crazy because it's like all your actions that build who you are as a person. So if
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know, these people, it's interesting. I hope people get over these lines they draw for themselves. They're like fake walls. They're invisible walls that you're building around yourself. They're stopping you from having potentially great things happen in your life. You know, these are blocks. These are personal flaws. And I hate to be like, you know, you're flawed. We're all flawed in all different types of ways. I have plenty of flaws. I'm trying to be aware of them so
Yeah.
I can instill better habits into my life and push the negative side of the spectrum out. So it's like I wake up every day and I have a great day. Like that's where my mindset's at. And I feel like if everybody had that mindset, we'd be facing a lot less hurdles in life, you know? Just
Right.
like what are you doing today, right now, to make life, community, society better? What are you doing? Are you bringing art to the table? Are you bringing music to the table? Are you going to work and being like the positive energy at work to keep morale up? Like
No.
what are you doing? What are you doing throughout all these things? You know?
Right. I
It's
see what
your
you're saying.
actions. It's all your choices every day. Or are you bitterly walking through life and hating on everything and looking for reasons to be upset because you're now addicted to being upset, you know? Because you like the fucking dopamine or whatever releases when you get upset in your brain. You know, these are addictive behavioral patterns, and we need to like, I can't tell somebody correct your shit, you know, while I'm
Right.
over here trying to correct my own shit.
Mhm.
That's what I would like to see the focus change is like inner, dude. Start pointing the fingers inwards and say, what do I need to fix?
Right. Heavy, dude.
Yeah.
We're all fired up.
Speaking of that, dude, here's a good way to transition.
Double daddy fire.
Yeah. What'd you think of Childish Gambino's "This Is America"?
I thought it was very powerful. I think I'm gonna try and explain this
Let's go.
in not the same way I did during the Get Out explanation because I failed that miserably, and I already figured out that I'm not good at explaining shit that I need time to reflect and possibly write down or type out
Yeah.
before. But
Did you do some homework this time?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, you put me on the spot with the Get Out.
I did.
Well, actually, I put myself
Yeah, you
on
did.
the spot. I was like, do you want my little rundown of
Yeah.
it? Because I'd be happy to tell you, Phil. So from what I was understanding, God damn it, here we go.
Here we go.
A lot of it had to do with gun violence, correct?
Yeah.
It had a lot to do with black culture as far as like violence happening, but like, cause okay, so like when he's like dancing around
Yeah.
and he's talking about like good things or whatever, like he's talking about like, what is he? I'm trying to think of lines and shit, but talking about clothes and money and shit.
Yeah.
And then in the background, it's like some crazy like rioting type shit. There's like people like breaking into cars, and there's like actual physical violence, and then like all that shit happening. I think that was, from what I understood, it was like a weird like reflection of how society is like the shit is kind of like in the background or something.
No, I think you drew a couple of solid conclusions.
And then there's like the really cool symbolism as far as what did they have? They had like the fourth horseman of the apocalypse or something. Like I believe that was a reference. There's someone on a white horse, the pale horse.
Oh, I missed that.
Walking in the background.
I missed
there
that.
There was a specific reasoning for the choir that he guns down. I forgot the reasoning behind that. There's a bunch of symbolism. I mean, there's a bunch of like really well explained things people, of this video.
There's people, I'm sure you can hop on YouTube and find somebody that breaks down it,
right?
You know, scene for scene. I thought it was there were a lot of really cool parallels. Like obviously it was hitting on, you know, gun violence, race, drug addiction, a lot of flaws in our society, but it was making it all flashy. Like, this is America, bitch, you know, like, where it's like kind of ironic, you know, because it's like portraying a lifestyle and the energy of a lifestyle, but it's also like fake in some ways, you know. It's like a persona, you know,
right.
It's like a built up persona. And then like how he ended the video and he's running in the pitch black and he's just running for his life. Like that's what he really feels inside, I feel like, you know, or that's what he's trying to depict. Like these people who are talking like gang banging and popping pills and like partying all the time and like not giving a fuck. Like really inside their brain, they're just running for their life. They're just like afraid. They're just fucking scared.
Did he ever drop anything that like explains the song, or is he just like so far like leaving it up to interpretation?
Yeah. And there's been all types of people who have broke down specific parts of it. Like Twitter was on it like amazingly fast.
Oh yeah,
as crazy. Soon as it dropped, it was just like bah, 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 people just breaking down every part.
And the video made it outside of like the realm of like hip hop and entertainment industry. Like that shit made it to like news sources that are primarily, you know, political based and shit like that too. Yeah. So it wasn't just like, oh, Pitchfork commented on it.
Yeah, no, it was like everybody.
XXL commented on it or some bullshit like that. It wasn't just those sources. This shit, if you haven't watched it,
yeah, watch that video.
Yeah, it's powerful.
I've only watched it 2 times.
I watched it like 5.
It's too powerful for me to like see over and over again. Like especially that image of the choir getting shot is just like, I don't need to see that a whole bunch of times in my life to understand what it is. You know?
Yeah, I kept watching it because when like I kind of compare it to this. So like I don't know if anyone's like a Stanley Kubrick fan.
Yeah,
but all of his
he filmed the moon landing.
Yeah, all of his movies, right? There's like down to the last detail of each scene. There's like specific reasons why it's placed there, why the lighting is like that, why it's angled like that, why there's like a certain color that's involved. Like, it's like so down to the detail, each scene. Yeah. So I was like almost in that mindset where like getting super conspiracy creep about it, like trying to notice all the shit that was happening in the background. Yeah. Because when I first had watched it, you know, it's hard to like really focus on anything in the background because you're checking out Gambino's hot bod, you know. Yeah. You're looking at those
weird
chains.
Faces he's
exactly
making.
The facial expressions, the dance moves. So it's really hard to even like see what's happening in the background. Like to me, it was like 3 images. It was like the beginning, like shot, the choir shot, like him dancing. And then like the very last scene with him running. So it was like, I had to watch it a couple times after just to pick up on like the little.
There's a lot, man. It's like
pieces in there.
It's like watching Fight Club or Pulp Fiction.
Right.
Like you have to watch it multiple times.
And that's like another thing too. That's like a Kubrick style shit too. Where
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
everything is super detailed.
Yeah, there's so much hidden in it that you can watch it multiple times and find new things each time you watch it.
Yeah.
Did you see how they broke down the Jim Crow picture and how he was doing a Jim Crow stance when he shot the first guy?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like read too far into it, but I know that was what it was associated
One
to.
of the things.
So.
It's just the whole thing is just like, wow. Really, really moving. Like I said, so moving. Like I only needed to see it a couple of times for it to really set in the message that he was trying to say.
Such a weird timing with Kanye West too, right?
Yeah.
Fucking
I don't like how people were like
calculated.
I don't like how people were like, this is what Kanye West was trying to do. This is how race should be approached, and the subject matter that Kanye's trying to talk about should be approached in this way. It's like they're both brilliant artists, like, and they both do art differently. Like,
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because I noticed that, you know, obviously the Kanye shit, everyone's like, fuck him, he's not a genius, blah, blah, blah. And then Childish Gambino drops that video, and everyone's like, see, that's a genius.
that's how you do
Childish Gambino is a fucking genius, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Which, in some regards, I think they both are geniuses.
it. For sure, dude. They're just different types. They're
Right.
just different types of genius. We need to embrace all different types of styles. It's not a dig for Childish Gambino to put out that video on
Right.
Kanye to be, you know, like he didn't intentionally be like, yo, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Like,
As far
he's
as we
been-
know.
he's been planning that shit forever, bro. You don't film a
As
video
far
like
as
that.
We know.
Yeah, true. Kanye's been hiding. This could have been the whole thing staged
Yeah.
from the get go
Could be.
with Kanye and Gambino, and you know, like who knows? We know they hang out together. We
Could
know
be a-
Gambino's a huge Kanye fan.
Dude, okay, time out. Did you look at any of that shit from the Met Gala at all?
No, I didn't really.
Are
dig
you
into
familiar
it.
with that shit?
Yeah, that's where they do all the rituals.
Well, like, okay, so the theme of it was like something religious related. I don't know, you'd have to look it up to like find out what it actually is,
Yeah.
like what the theme was. Those fuckers were in full effect Illuminati grind.
Bro, second Google search, I typed Met Gala, and the second suggestion was Met Gala 2018 theme.
Yeah. What is the theme again?
It doesn't tell me. I got to pull up an article.
Dude, it is. Okay, so one of my favorite things was, okay, so Cardi B is knocked up or whatever.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
she's wearing that fucking dress or whatever. And then right where the baby like bump is, there's like the shape of the fucking Freemasons.
The compass or
The compass ruler with the fucking thing in the middle.
The G?
It's not a G, but it's straight up like the pattern, like it's clearly distinguishable. So my crazy ass, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking get weird on this. So I go to Cardi B's Instagram and I see the pictures that they had of her with that dress
Yeah.
and start reading these comments. Dude, the comments are fucking gold. There was people that were like, that poor fucking child has already been sold to the Freemasons, Zion Illuminati, and like, dude, it was so good. Just immediately. Dude, Rihanna has like a Pope fucking hat on. You have
it's-
fucking, dude,
the theme is heavenly bodies fashioned in the Catholic imagination.
Yeah. What though? Like, excuse me? Not
It's-
weird at all. This is all just some normal ass theme party. Nothing weird going on here. The fuck, dude?
Some weird shit, bro.
Donald Glover, looking good, right? You're like,
Did
oh,
he?
that's a nice suit. That's fucking sweet. Turns around, big fucking pyramid on his back.
Hey.
I was like, holy shit, dude. Not subtle at all either. It's all like gold embroidered and shit. All those fucking weird creeps are like, so what are you wearing?
You know,
Blah,
like,
blah, blah. I'm wearing Gucci with like all of the most occult ritual symbolism shit all over it.
you know, they've embraced that shit for a long time as like part of the different, like MTV did it for one of their award shows. It was like Illuminati
Yeah.
advertisement and whatever. Like that was kind of like their theme for it was.
Well, that's what like Taco Bell's theme is right now too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't watch ads. Yeah, I don't watch.
I think I first found out because of like there's a video channel or YouTube channel I watched called Black Child Productions, and it's all very deep fucking conspiracy crazy. And he had talked about like the Taco Bell had their own Illuminati thing, but this is like the menu was like Illuma menu or fucking Taco Naughty. I don't know, whatever the fuck. There is straight up like the pyramid shit all over everything.
Okay.
And it's like designed in a way like the whole campaign is like straight up that. Like it's
That's
fucking
so weird.
It's not even subtle anymore. It's like in your fucking face shit.
That's so weird.
So I mean clearly I don't know if it's to stir up people that are into conspiracy theories and they're just like, oh well now I have something to fucking latch onto, or if it's just a way of like
it's a hot topic, you know? So it's like, you know, obviously branding companies want to pick up the most searched terms.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that rides in the most searched term
Hell yeah.
consistently. And then it's also like the irony of using it as marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's like funny to be like, oh, we're Illuminati.
Yeah.
And then like there's real conspiracies saying that there are, you know, they're just like, I think they do it because it's ironic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an idea for Coca-Cola. I want to make a commercial for them, and I want it to be like a punk dude. I got my buddy Zach. I want him to do it, but like punk in like, you know, leather vest with patches and pins all over it and shit, and like mohawk and like just you know, a typical looking street punk kid.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking a Coke, like opens it and like chugs it and then throws it on the ground, goes, fuck Coke. And that's the commercial. I think it would be a cool commercial because it's like ironic. It would be Coke's, you know,
Right.
embracing the fact that people hate Coke.
Like it would have to be bleep though. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
But like all punk and smoky looking
Right.
and like just like a plain white background, maybe even in black and white. I have the whole thing. I've had this idea for like 2 or 3 years.
Dude, do you remember the Pepsi challenge?
What is the Pepsi challenge?
Remember back in the day, like they would do like a blindfold test, and then you would just like drink one thing that's Pepsi, and then they would give you like a cracker or whatever, and then you would like take the other thing and it was Coke.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
No, but I could tell the difference.
So when I was working at this grocery store as a kid, like 16 or something, they had like sales reps there from Pepsi doing that Pepsi challenge. And I was like, oh, I want to do it, blah, blah, blah. So I did it, totally picked Coke. And I was like, now what? And they're like, well, I guess that's it. It was such a weird interaction because I think they were hoping so bad that I would pick Pepsi and I didn't. So like both sides, me and that like marketing sales rep or whatever, we're both just like, well, I guess see you later. I don't fucking know.
I guess you don't make the commercial.
Right. It was like, I wish that campaign came out now and like I had that same scenario.
Yeah.
Because then like I would actually have like funny questions to ask. Like, how often does this happen to you? And like all this shit.
Yeah.
But as a 16-year-old, I was just like, I want a free fucking little sip of pop.
Right.
A little Ritz cracker.
Also, if somebody takes my idea and sells it to Coke as their own, you're a douchebag. And I'll bring up this podcast as evidence against you in a court of law. Just kidding. Take my idea and sell it to them and then fly me in to be a director. And I won't do too much. I'll just make sure it looks cool.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not holding my ideas like that. I'm the only one that ever thought of that. Who knows? But I don't care. That's how I feel about ideas in general.
I don't
feel like I feel like anybody can have an idea. It's all about execution. If somebody can execute an idea better than me, then take the idea, bro. Do it better than me.
Interesting.
Yeah. Best idea wins. I'm all about that, especially with creative like production and shit. It's like, let's listen to all the ideas. Let's try them all out and then pick the best one. The best one will stand out for itself, you know?
Yeah.
It does every time. That's how I feel.
Come on.
Come on. Sell my Coke idea.
Sell it.
Get you some money.
punk bitches.
I don't got any connections with them. I don't think.
Who does?
Maybe someday.
I'm good on coke. Can't even drink that shit anymore.
I love it.
My teeth feel like they're gonna fall out immediately.
I know, it's amazing.
Ugh.
It's so good.
You know when you drink that shit, and then you like go like this,
Yeah.
and you can like it
You
like
feel
weirdly slides or something.
Yeah.
Ugh, that feeling is so.
It's
fucking
like chalky
not okay.
and chalky and slimy.
Yeah, and it like grinds across, dude. That's not. I
It's
don't
great.
think when you drink something, that's how your teeth are supposed to feel.
Probably not.
Not a dentist, cannot confirm that. Pretty sure they would agree though.
Probably not. Hey, what do you think about...
Any dentists out there that can tell me why that happens, I would be so excited.
I'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
Hell yeah, doctor, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'll even tell them to go to your practice too.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Give you that shout out. What do you think of... Do you know what the Mandela Effect is?
Not really.
So the Mandela Effect is the idea that we're living in multiple different... It's like quantum. We're living in multiple different timelines.
Mm-hmm.
And like throughout all these different timelines are all different experiences of the life we're living, but we're like only conscious in specific ones, you know?
Mhm.
Like you make the choices through your actions about which dimension you're walking
Okay.
through life in. And so the Mandela Effect is the idea that CERN are the people who invented the internet or whatever.
Right.
CERN fucked something up in one of their crazy tests where they're like slamming atoms together and shit,
Yeah.
and destroyed the dimension that we're all living in, and then rebuilt it with computers, with these quantum computers. But there's like remnants of the old dimension we were all in, and then there's a new dimension that they created. It was created by CERN. That's the one we're living in. But there's all these artifacts that are left over.
Right.
And that's the Mandela Effect. So like, for example, the most common one that people know about is Bernstein Bears.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a kid's book when we were younger. Some people remember it as Bernstein, and other people remember it as Bernstein.
Right. There's another thing hooked to that too, where it's did the dad have a fucking monocle? Did the dad have a monocle, bud?
Which one?
In the Berenstain Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Did he though?
I think so.
No, he didn't. Okay, so next one. They were talking about this on another podcast this week. I just didn't have a description. They just went into like the associations that you're referring to right
Yeah.
now. So now on the box of Fruit Loops,
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
another one, yeah.
how's it spelled?
I remember it as fruit, like fruit, normal fruit, and then LOOPS.
Right, and it's actually like
FR.
FROOT,
Yeah.
and then the O's are the same.
They're the Fruit Loop O's.
Yeah, they're the same loops as the ones
Yeah.
in the loops.
I don't remember it as that. That's a Mandela Effect. That's supposedly what that is remembering it the way it isn't is a artifact from the dimension that got destroyed by CERN.
Right. And also people were saying that kind of a way of like disproving that, I guess,
Yeah.
is when you are a child and you are taught to read,
Yeah.
as soon as you look at that, knowing that like any time we bring up Fruit Loops, like it's fruit or whatever.
Right.
So when you look at the box, all in your head, you just immediately see the
It's
word
association.
fruit instead of seeing like the like play on words Kellogg's or whoever the fuck
Right.
designed it. So
Right. There's another one, Sex in the City, or Sex and the City.
it's sex in, correct?
No, it's Sex
not?
and
God damn.
the City.
I love that show too.
I know.
That's
I
what
watched
pisses
it.
me off.
I watched
man.
it so much because my girlfriend at the time loved it. So like, I even saw the movie. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure I might have went to the movie with you. And
Possibly.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my shit still. That's JP, son.
dude.
Kim Cattrall.
Big.
Let's party. Nah, dude. Team Aiden all the way. Team Aiden. You
I
liked Big?
Yeah, dude. He was a swagger boss.
Oh, fuck off. He sucked.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Okay, so he made sense for Carrie, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like based on the type of woman she was.
She's a swagger boss, too.
And I remember like anytime I spoke to women about this, they had always said like, they were always like, dude, Aiden was the best. But he didn't make sense for the type of personality and the type of woman Carrie Bradshaw was.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I don't fucking know. I'm always going to be Team Aiden. That dude is way more attractive, number one. He was fucking artsy. He was an interior designer, right? And then he like builds his own furniture. He had that like denim jacket with like the turquoise rings, like kind of fucking flair to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the longer hair, like I'm not giving a fuck that much, but I'm still put together that I know I look good.
Yeah.
As opposed to like just the fucking corporate fresh, like black pinstripe suit, red tie looking ass shit. But to be honest, if I were to like, so who do you identify with more? Do you identify with Aiden more, or do you identify with Big more?
I mean, I feel like I'm a mix of both because I got the swagger boss in me, but I also am like artsy and in touch with my emotional side.
Yeah, I feel like, and I think that's what makes those two characters so weird. Is like, I feel like the way I portray myself and act is definitely more Big, but I feel like deep down, I'm more Aiden, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like the point of that.
Could be.
Those two characters and what. All I know is that Russian fucking boyfriend she had fucking sucked.
Fuck that guy.
What the fuck was his name?
I don't remember.
I don't know. He was the
That's
fucking
how unimportant
worst,
he is.
Yeah, he was the Alexander.
Alexander.
Like Petrovsky or something.
I don't
Alexander, not Alexander.
He's basically a blank space in my memory.
Well, he fucking sucked. And I'm really happy that we talked about sex
and
the city for that long.
Yeah,
that was
boy.
amazing. Shout out to that show. That show was fucking tight. Did you know in New York they have a sex
and
the city tour where you can like go all to the different spots and restaurants and
Really?
like hotels and shit, and like you can see where her loft apartment was and all that shit.
Weird.
Isn't that tight? I would
That is
totally go
tight.
on that.
I don't know if I would. Maybe if I had a girlfriend, I would.
I'd go by myself. I'd fucking go with my I'd go with my grandma. I don't fucking give a shit. I'll party. I want to go on that shit. It'll be so fun.
That would be some crazy
It would be
shit.
interesting.
New York's dope, dude. I really like New York. Out of all the places I've been to, I would like definitely stay in New York for a longer time than I did.
Right,
Yeah, I would spend some time there.
Yeah, I've never been there. I definitely think I'm a city boy for sure. So living where we're at now, I feel like I don't fit in all. In my mind, at least, I don't fit in here. Who knows? But the best city I've ever went to is Toronto. I fucking love Toronto.
I've heard Toronto's real dope.
It's so tight.
I've never been.
I haven't gone in forever. Like I was a little kid when I went. So there's, or maybe a teenager. I don't know. It wasn't like at an age now where I would appreciate the food more and like
Right.
right. Bar hopping and like going to like music venues and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was like an outing with my parents, so it was like super touristy. So like Hockey Hall of Fame and like shit like that.
Yeah, right.
But
see all the tourist spots, which is fun too. But
it's super crazy because like we stayed at this like really fancy hotel. It's called the Royal York, and it's like pretty like well known for that city.
yeah,
But like if you go to like the underground is like all like set up in a weird like mall. So there's like subways and shit. And then there's like stores and like restaurants and all this shit like underneath. I don't know how far in the city it goes underneath, but I would imagine like the majority of the city.
yeah.
I remember that blew my mind as a kid. I was like, you can fit all this crazy shit down like
That's crazy,
inside the ground?
bro. There's underground cities. I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's called
sure
the
of it.
Denver Airport Bunker.
What's
Fucker.
that about?
So I love. I've never been to Denver before, and I've never been to the Denver airport, obviously. But the Denver airport is supposedly like a super, super crazy conspiracy. So the Denver airport, it took. I'm trying to think. It went way past the time frame that they were supposed to have it built.
Yeah.
If you look at an aerial shot, the aerial shot is almost weirdly like a swastika. So that's weird. Pretty
Also,
weird.
the swastika goes back in history
Right.
as many different symbols. Like you go over to India and it's all over the place.
Right. Yeah,
But it has a different meaning, and it's a very like it's based in
Hitler stole the
Hinduism.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
100%. It was before
Yeah.
his stupid crazy ass got all rowdy.
They flipped it around the other way.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So the Denver airport, there's a bunch of crazy shit. It's the Freemasons have a big deal with it. Like they donated a bunch of money to it. There's a horse statue in the like where the planes lift off and all that shit, whatever
Okay.
that's called.
Yeah.
There's a word for that.
I've seen the statue.
Yeah, it's like a
pictures.
blue horse.
Yeah.
They call it like blue fucking something.
Is
like-
it Pegasus or something?
No. It's like a fucking blue horse that's like super menacing and veiny, and the fucking eyes glow red. And the story behind that sculpture is the man that did that, they got commissioned to do that.
Yeah.
He never even finished the sculpture because the fucking head of that horse cracked off the sculpture and killed him. So
Whoa.
he died from the head of that horse falling on him and killing him. Okay. I
Wow.
beg your damn ass pardon?
Right.
What? Then it goes deeper.
That's not even the tip of the
No,
iceberg.
fuck no, bro. So there's like multiple you should bring this shit up, but there's like multiple paintings and shit in there that are super fucking creepy
I've
as
heard.
shit. Like there's one where like a weird like soldier in a gas mask has like a sword, and the sword is stabbing a fucking peace dove, and there's like a bunch of crying mothers with like their babies, and then a bunch of dead children.
I'm looking at it
Dude,
right
there
now.
is so much
It's like a
fucking sketchy shit.
wow.
And then I guess like it's like a part of like a 5 series, I believe.
Yeah.
And I got another one that was like there's like animals in boxes, and like they're all dead and fucked up. And, like
This is
kids being
creepy, bro.
Dude, I know. Why the fuck is that at an airport?
Like you want to see this when you're getting onto a plane?
No. It's fucked up. It's
Wow.
so weird. There's also I can't remember them all. I just remember reading some articles about it. I watched a really good video on YouTube, of course, my favorite source, of a dude just breaks down a bunch of like weird symbolism and a bunch of weird shit
That's
about it.
crazy.
Supposedly there's an underground bunker, and that's another reason why it took so long to get built. There was an event where there was fear that Obama was that some sort of like terrorist attack, and the first place they sent him was the Denver airport. So
Oh.
that was like another weird sign, I guess, that was involved. They didn't even need to build that airport. That was like another weird thing out there. So it was just like, okay, we're just building this like fucking like they went way over crazy budget. Like there's just a bunch of like different things. It's really interesting. Even if it's like, again, even if there's nothing, like it's all just whatever,
Yeah.
it's still interesting.
Some
and the
weird
fact that
shit.
all of those paintings and that crazy fucking horse sculpture,
Yeah.
guess who funded all those commissions? It wasn't just like donated artists.
The Rockefellers.
The fucking government straight up commissioned all
Oh
that
yeah,
art.
because airports are government.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, we want a fucking scary ass fuck blue horse in the fucking airfield or whatever. Oh, we want these weird fucking paintings
I'm telling you, bro.
that have like soldiers with fucking gas masks stabbing doves while there's dead shit all over. Like, bitch, what is that?
I'm telling you, bro. The leaders that have been in control for a long time are weird motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude.
They're into weird shit, dude. And it's like a lot of this shit, bro. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters that they believe it.
Who's they?
The powers that be, bro, that are into all these weird occult rituals and imagery and like that's some weird shit, bro. I just looked through all those pictures. They're
It's
weird,
eerie, right?
They're weird. Why are those up in our airport? Because they're weirdos.
It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
They're weirdos, bro.
We need to take a trip out there.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to fly out to the fucking airport, be like, excuse me, and then take off. I'm fucking down, bro.
I got some flyer miles. Let's go.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Damn.
My last
fucking Caucasian of you.
my last flight here,
Yes, I have frequent flyer miles.
my last flight from California to here, I was on a like 6.5 over surprise layover
Really?
in Detroit. So I raised hell with the customer service, and they gave me like $100 worth of free miles.
Oh, that's tight. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Field trip, Tall Glass Podcast field trip.
Let's go.
Fucking A.
Denver would be sweet because we could get some weed.
I don't do it.
I do.
I heard that there's a really cool comedy spot there too.
Oh, really?
The Denver Improv.
Okay.
That's where a lot of big acts go through. It's supposed to be like one of their favorites.
I've never really spent time in Denver. I feel like I should
Yeah.
at some point.
I heard it's fucking beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, really up and coming. I don't know. I don't fucking know. You know those article headlines. Denver is the newest.
The
fucking
top
blah,
5
blah, blah.
places to live that are new.
The top new 5 places you and your family should think about possibly moving to.
Yeah, weird shit, dude.
That is like one of like, I don't even know, dude. Another like example of just like pure blatant shit to just like make people fucking like, what?
Yeah, and that's like a step further, I think, because it's like commissioned art. It's like artists known for these weird styles and shit, and
It's different for sure.
yeah,
It's
weird.
such a weird place too. It's not like I feel like part of me is like what makes it so weird is it's not like old. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if these paintings were like old and in like an old theater or like old building or something and they just didn't take them down and it was like I
was a
would get
part
it,
of
but this
history.
is like fucking like
Current weird shit.
in the late 90s. Like this was just like
This is what we're gonna
fuck it,
do.
this is what we're doing. Like, bitch, what? Excuse me.
They're all coked out. They're like, yeah, it's a great idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
Fucking lighting their cigars with fucking dollar bills. Yeah, let's put that on there. God, fucked up, dude.
Weird shit.
So weird.
What's another what conspiracy you digging into right now?
I was
one?
really digging into that Met Gala shit for a minute, just because I didn't like dig into it like that far.
Yeah.
I was just more of like looking at what they were wearing and
Yeah.
like all the weird symbolism with that, because it was like just straight up fucking.
Crazy shit.
It wasn't even like, it was like blatantly supposed to be looked at that way.
Yeah,
like I
right.
said, like
There's irony to it. There's all
Right.
that, bro. There's all that.
yeah, like, it was super weird because it was religious too. So it was like fucking what's his nuts, like Jared Leto wearing like fucking like Pope things.
Yeah.
Like it was just fucking, it was creep shit.
That's weird. Why isn't
100%.
that considered cultural appropriation?
I don't know, because it's white. I don't know. Is
Yeah.
that ignorant for me to say?
No, because
I don't
that's the most ignorant idea of cultural appropriation. Like,
Right.
I think
Why
that's-
isn't the Pope stepping in and be like, what the fuck?
Yo,
What
that's-
is this shit?
That's my shit. Did you see the meme? There was a meme.
Rihanna, you're wearing my Pope hat.
There was
Get
a-
that shit off.
There was a meme. You know, it's prom time. You know?
Yeah.
So kids are posting their prom pictures and shit. I saw this meme. It was a girl wearing a all black dress, and at the bottom it had flames coming up the dress.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, because it was a meme, it had to be funny. At the bottom, it was a Guy Fieri leaving a comment that says, "That's my culture. This is cultural appropriation."
Yeah.
Because it had the flames going
Oh
up the
yeah,
dress.
because it was in reference to that the white lady or the white girl that was wearing the like traditional
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
like gown or dress. Or
Yeah, so a whole bunch of
Yeah.
memes came out because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Were you pissed off about that?
What the
Did that bother you?
The girl
at all?
being called out for cultural appropriation
Yeah.
for wearing the Japanese
Yeah.
dress. Well, from what I read on it, she wanted to wear a dress that was less revealing. So she wanted to cover her shoulders and have a longer dress that didn't show off her legs,
Mhm.
and she didn't want any cleavage either. And so that was the one that she liked, and
Yeah.
she wore it there. And I think that is, and she wanted to stand out, but in a way that wasn't revealing, like showing off her body.
So you're saying like her original intention was to like not
Was to be cool as fuck.
was to be like not to be like what is the word, like discreet or something, like
She just didn't want to wear a slutty dress like everybody
Right.
wears from the sound of it, to
Right.
put it into crude language is just like,
how dare you.
she didn't want to be a hoe. She wanted to be different and stand out and prove that she could do it without showing
But
her
did she have
tits
to go
or
to the
legs.
Chinese route or Japanese route or Asian culture dress?
No,
Or
she probably could have found another dress, but I would imagine, you see these girls in the prom dresses they wear, and like I would imagine it's pretty slim choices.
Are you offended is what I'm trying to get at.
Definitely
Does that bother
not.
you?
No,
No?
definitely not.
Do you think Asian people would be?
No.
So, a different podcast I listen to, primarily all Asian people.
Yeah.
It's Bobby Lee's podcast. They had talked about it, and Bobby Lee brought up a very fucking interesting point. He made some jokes, of course. He was
Yeah.
like, it wouldn't bother me more if she was with a fucking Asian dude. Then I would be like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, you can wear that. Which was obviously a joke. But what he said that I found interesting was he was wearing like a normal like t-shirt and like a beanie or some shit. And he was like, dude, what am I wearing right now?
Right.
He's like, this is Western clothes. Like
Right.
this isn't fucking like, I'm an Asian man.
Yeah.
My parents migrated here.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Western clothes. Like, no one's gonna say shit about this. But then when like,
Yeah.
so,
I don't like the idea of cultural appropriation. That means that's just drawing, again, goes back to the original point made at the beginning. You're building up fake walls. You're drawing lines, and like, if you're writing a movie and you write in a character that's like Asian and speaks broken English and like is like a sidekick character, and all the stereotypical shit that we see in every movie with Asians. They're like
Right.
typecast into this type of character. Yeah, let's have a cultural appropriation discussion about how Asians can also play normal people who don't speak broken English.
That's another thing Tiger Belly touches on constantly too, because obviously Bobby Lee, he made his big break in Mad TV or whatever,
Yeah.
and he was in the comedy scene before that even. So like he was already doing stand up before he even got on Mad TV. But he had talked about like the only Asian comedians that were getting jobs were like Long Duck Dong and shit like that,
Yeah.
where it was just like straight up, like these people don't fucking talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you were to talk to him normally, he's not like, oh, sexy girlfriend, or like whatever the fuck.
Yeah, right.
And that's what he was talking about. Like they were like pigeonholed to have to act that way.
Yeah, when
because
it's-
otherwise they wouldn't make a living off of something they wanted to do.
And when it's like that, I think it's justified. But when it's a white girl wearing an Asian dress to prom, it's like, leave that poor girl alone. Like, you kidding me?
My thing with that is I don't think she was like, I don't
Just
think
leave
that
her
was
alone.
her point.
Yeah, leave her alone. She's not.
Also, if she bought that from like a place where they're selling those and it's an Asian operated and owned, like,
Which it probably
then
is.
you open up a whole other fucking door of weirdness, because then it's like clearly you can't use that argument anymore.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
you're
that makes it
supporting-
extra weird.
You're
So,
supporting Asian culture.
I mean, I get cultural appropriation. I really do. I totally understand both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
I really do. So I just kind of stay out of it because I don't have any
think
interest.
I think when it comes to the silly stuff, like a girl wearing a prom dress or girls on Spring Lake getting their hair put in cornrows, it's like, come on, just
Or white girls with dreads.
yeah, white. That's what I'm saying. White
right,
girls
right,
with
right.
dreads or white girls putting their hair in
Yeah.
cornrows.
I
or-
just don't like it, dude. If you're a white girl with dreads, I don't like it.
It is what it is.
It looks dumb. You look dumb.
I think it looks dumb too.
I had dreads when I was in high school because remember, like, when we grew up, the punk kids that had dreads were, like, considered, like, I guess, like, crust punks.
Yeah,
They were, like, the kids that would, tend to do graffiti, hop trains, listen to, like, a very specific type of punk music that was called crust punk. And, the point of, like, a lot of people, like, they wore, like, like Carhartt shit, and it was like you just looked dirty. Like that was the grind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I think had dreads from just fucking
being dirty.
Yeah. And I think a lot of them put it in dreads or had them like fucking whatever, and then they got dirty and blah blah blah. But I mean, I was the kid that did that in fucking high school. Like I ruined family pictures with that grind. I don't know.
I had dreads for like 1 week and then I brushed them out.
It hurts, dude.
Yeah.
I had mine so long that they started like really getting matted together, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like I got to a point where like it was just like grinding it out, and I was just like, let's just cut this shit.
Yeah.
This hurts.
Yep. But I mean, whatever.
I don't know.
Hairstyles are hairstyles, and like I think the less we focus on we just need to pay attention to intention and context.
Well, also this, dude, and we had this conversation before we started recording. When you make certain decisions, there's repercussions to them. Like you're taking a risk. Like if you're a white woman and you're like, I really want to get dreads, so I'm going to get the dreads. Now, if you face backlash and you have people that like approach you and say that this is cultural appropriation or whatever, that's part of the fucking game, girl. Like you put yourself into a position to have that, to have those type of consequences or have those types of questions to be asked.
Right.
It's not any different than like we use another example where it was like, I got tattoos on my face.
Right.
Why are these fucking like older people in older generations staring at me and like,
obviously,
because you have tattoos on your fucking face.
Yeah.
Like you made the conscious decision to get whatever tattooed on your face. You no longer get to be like, why is everyone staring? Why is everyone like treating me different? Dude, I'm sorry. It's like a fucking old generation thing. It sucks that you have this discrimination. But in the back of your head, you can't be like,
mad,
this is weird or whatever. Like you can be frustrated that like, why haven't we reached a point in society and life that I can look however the fuck I want without being discriminated against. Right. But you're still taking that risk, dude. Like, come on.
You know what time it is. You know what time we're living in. And I think a lot of these scenarios and stuff, just we need good examples, good leaders. Like we need somebody who's a great leader to step up with a face tattoo to make it okay. You know what I mean? Like we need some of these cultural icons.
Well, right now the problem with face tattoos is it's only being associated with these like crazy like rappers that are like even causing a problem with like the rap music in general. Is like people are like, oh, this Tekashi 99 or 69 or whatever. Yeah. Everyone's like, fuck that dude. He promotes gang violence and he promotes like he had that weird like issue with like underage girls or something. I don't fucking know. Whatever controversial thing. And then you have like, Lil Peep like fucking overdosing, all that shit.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's no
just be a good leader.
There's no people with face tattoos right now, like in like mainstream media that have like anything positive, it seems like.
Just be a good example. That's all. And like if you have face tattoos and you want to be accepted in this world, just like don't allow it to not happen. Don't allow somebody to not accept you. Just be a good example. Be a good person.
And I have tons of friends with face tats.
Yeah, me too.
And it's fucking whatever. I don't look at them any different. Like it's just whatever.
Yeah, because beneath the face tat is a person.
But I feel like the one dude that I have, for example, he's a really good tattoo artist. He does a lot of my shit. We had gone to a bar in Milwaukee one time, and a woman approached him and was like, oh, what's all that shit on your face? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he just talked to her, whatever, had a cool conversation. She left, whatever. And he's like, that's part of the game, And like another thing is like, a lot of people that get face tattoos, you know, that have really good jobs or have jobs where it's accepting.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's really cool. Like, not everyone gets that luxury.
Yeah.
And you should also look at it in that way too. Like, if I was a tattoo artist, I guarantee I would probably have something.
Right.
I mean, maybe it'd be a little bit more discreet because I like my face a lot.
Yeah.
I'm scared of taking that step.
Yeah.
But it's a luxury, you know? Not everyone gets to do that shit. Some people, like,
Very true.
like, don't have that luxury. And I think some people have to keep that in mind, because I know a huge thing people say when they get face tattoos is like, you know, it's keeps me in my lane. Like, I know that there's someone I know out there that he had said, you know, it's a way of me knowing that there's no going back.
Right.
Like, I have this to be like, this is the life I chose or some shit. And
Right.
it's like, how about you look at it like, I get that pleasure. I get that, like, satisfaction. I get the luxury of having it. Like, you shouldn't have a tattoo, something on your face so you can be like, well, I have to be in these types of things so it keeps me in that lane, son.
Right. I mean, some people are like that,
I
though.
don't
Some
know.
people want to be intimidating and want to, you know, be hard. And
Right.
I don't have anything against that.
I don't either. All I'm saying is look at it in
Yeah.
a different perspective.
You're taking
I
a more
guess.
optimistic view of
Right.
the thing. Just like try to find something that is good and beneficial to you. Like break down the barriers a little bit more, so it's more accepting for all different types of people.
Yeah, and I'm pretty lucky too. I work in an industry that I feel like is in a weird spot right now because it's still a lot of corporate shit happening where you're kind of stuck.
You're a graphic designer
right,
for
right.
people listening that don't know that.
It's you know, like there's like a weirdness about it. Like there's a lot of places that are still very strict corporate, like suit and tie type of grind. There's like the fucking cool places where you're like, you can dress however you want, you can do whatever, like it's all creative.
Show up,
here,
show up on
whatever.
time and do your work.
Yeah, and you know, then there's like the weird medium where they don't know how to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I know, like, I don't really want to talk about my job too much, but because I feel like it's a personal thing. But
Yeah.
I'm really lucky. I have visible tattoos, and my job and the CEO of the company, you know, embraces that. He looks at it in a way that's like, you're a creative, like you're a huge asset to the team.
Yeah.
That's part of what makes you you. That's
Yeah.
you know, it's creative. Like I want people like that to, you know, be creative and
I agree.
look the part. Maybe it's I don't want to get into it, but fact of the matter is, like, I have that luxury of being able to.
Yeah, you have a
look the
cool,
way I want.
understanding
Yeah.
which is, you know, what your
And-
actions have brought you to be in. You know?
And I think eventually, as time goes by, I think it would be fucking weird for someone to not have a tattoo
yeah.
at a fucking company or
Yeah.
a business or whatever.
It might, yeah. One of my first jobs, 'cause I used to have my lip pierced. It actually is still open. I could still put some in it. But
Is it that Tom DeLonge grind?
I had the
That
side.
side?
The side is still open. The middle one that I got, the first piercing I got, was closed. But this one on the side, I can still put some in. But anyways, I worked a job that was customer service, and the owner didn't want me to wear it while I was working, so I would take it in and out. And then one day, I got there, and as soon as I walked in, there was a customer there, and I had to sell something, and I forgot to take out the lip ring. And so I went through the bike sale or whatever. Oh, I just gave away where I worked. I went through the sale,
Right.
and eventually sold the thing, and then walked by the owner, and the owner was like, "Your lip ring, dude." And I was like, "See, I told you I could make a sale with it in," you know. But
What'd he do?
he still made me take it out.
Moral of the story. You're
But I
fine.
mean, some people
Yeah.
just have their, and that's what bosses do. The owners of the companies.
Yeah,
set
they have
up
to
their-
make. I mean, from a business standpoint, you know, there's a lot of different factors. You know, if you own a particular company where you're only dealing with a certain demographic, especially an older demographic, where
Yeah.
there isn't where it's not socially acceptable in their
Yeah.
eyes. Like,
It's one of those
It is-
things.
it comes with the
It's one of
fucking-
those things. Unfortunately, when you're in a sales position, if you have a piercing, you're walking up, your first interaction with this person ever in the history of life
right.
it's one of those things that somebody could be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. You have your lip pierced.
Right.
You know. So from a sales standpoint, it makes sense. You know. I didn't take, like, at the time I was like, I wanted to prove to him that I could wear it and still
which I think
sell
is
things.
which I think is really cool, especially if he was like, well,
Yeah.
keep it in, bro.
No, but it didn't end that way, and that's fine. Whatever.
Right.
He's got his own brand and his own style.
Yeah,
and
that's
his own
the other thing
guidelines
too.
and
Is some
that's his world he created. I just
Right.
stepped into it. You
Yeah.
know, like, and so that's why I'm out here trying to create my own world where it's like, you know, I want to create that environment, but you know, have things go the way that I think they should go.
right.
That's what that taught me. You know, anything that I could pull away from it is just like, yo, I want to be in a position where I own a company and I get to make the rules.
Exactly. And I think you know, I think that's kind of everyone's goal. There's certain people that I feel like in this world that just aren't meant to have bosses, you know?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
it's just hard. Like I know tons of people that they have personalities where it's like it's just difficult, you know?
Yeah.
Like they either have like huge leadership qualities in them where it's just like difficult to
when you
handle that.
When you get micromanaged and stuff by somebody above
Right.
you and you have that leadership built into you naturally, like natural born leaders don't need to be shown the steps, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't need to be monitored and stuff. And like you slowly figure that out throughout your life. If you're one, I am one. I just have natural gifts built into me. I don't need to read all the books and study how to become a leader. It's just when I sit down and read books like this, I'm like, oh, I already do these things
Right.
naturally. So like, you know, it's just accepting who you are as a person, where you sit in the society, because we all have different positions. Some people aren't born that way, that want to go out and run their own company. And, you know, like when I get hired at a new company, I walk in, I learn how to do everything. And then I think about how I could do it on my own.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what company.
Or how you could take that same business or business model and basically turn it into something that you think would work better or whatever.
Exactly. Every time I go into a company, I have these same thoughts, and it's happened that way since I got my first job when I was 15. Like it hasn't changed. So it's just in me to do, you know, and so now I'm striving.
It's a cool trait to have. I mean,
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Now I'm striving to put myself into position where I am that, you know. That's the realization I've had through my trials and tribulations.
Well, yeah, and it's not even, I think the other thing we should probably say is it's not like a negative thing to not be that way either.
Yeah, no,
You know,
we all fit
some
into
people
different
don't,
things.
you know. So if you're like the type of person that's like thinking about their job and thinking about shit and they're like, well, this makes me feel fucked up. Like, you don't have to feel that way. That's not what we're trying to say at all.
Yeah.
If you're not a leadership type of person, like that doesn't make you any less than anyone else.
I think that's something that people need to be more open about and understanding of, is just like some people, you know, like give some
people
the
don't want
reins.
that fucking responsibility either.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't want the risk of being a leader, because that's the other thing you have to think about. If you own a company, you're responsible for fucking everything.
Yeah.
So all your time, all your money, you have to make huge decisions and risks.
You're paying people for people's lives. At
Right.
that
And
point,
some
you know,
people
your salary and
don't
shit.
want that fucking the responsibility over
Yeah.
shit.
It makes sense.
It's fucking scary. Some
makes
people don't
sense,
want to
and
fuck with that.
It's okay to be honest about it. That there
Yeah.
are some people that are good for those positions and some people are not. And naturally, those positions kind of work themselves out in our society, you know?
And some people start off at one sort of thing in a company and rise to the fucking top. And then there's stories of people that started off as, you know, fucking busboy or some shit. And throughout however long of showing their loyalty or being there for that long, they end up in a fucking sous chef position.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they're running that shit.
Yep.
So
Happens all the time.
Sometimes it's the long game.
Yep. That's some real shit.
And then you learn that then you learn everything about that place from starting from the ground up, that you can just run that bitch because you've done it all.
Yeah, you know all the ins and outs.
And
of
then
every
you can
position.
relate to people at any position at that place.
Yeah.
So if you have a fucking dishwasher that's like fucking like me or something, that you start that job and
Yeah.
you're like, this is so fucking hard. I'm so anxious. This is so fucked up.
Right.
And you have someone come down there from like a fucking line cook position to help you. That's like, hey, dude, like I was here at one point too, you know?
Yeah.
Shout out to dishwashing jobs.
Heck yeah, everybody's got to start
I
somewhere.
had that job one time, dude.
I did too.
I have so many fun fucking stories, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you one right now. My first
Let's
night.
get into a wrap up because we're well
okay,
over
well, let
an
me
hour.
finish the dishwashing
I will. I'm
story,
just
dog.
saying maybe we could transition into the ending because I also have to pee.
Okay. All right. Well, long story short, first day on the dishwashing job, big bucket of fucking chicken grease. Where do I put this? Oh, I'll just dump it down the sink. Floods the whole fucking kitchen, the whole dishwashing area. That's my story. I could have told that hella fucking comedic, but
Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to rush you. I just meant to say, hey, let's make this the last.
okay, I'll add another one, a quick one.
Yeah.
One time I was bringing out the garbage. There was a chopstick in it, and I whipped it up to go into the fucking
No.
dumpster, and the chopstick centered fucking perfectly vertically ripped that bitch in half. It was like some cartoon type shit. So it was good.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
But
you got to go through that.
Every night in a restaurant, dude, it's so fucking hilarious.
It is, yeah.
It's like the craziest job you'll ever have.
It is for sure.
It's wild.
Chef life.
It's like it reminds you of just like organized chaos.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Like it's just like all of the most intense people, craziness, but somehow this fucked up like
That's crazy. I love those
yeah.
cooking shows. I like Gordon Ramsay.
dude, I love
I
Gordon
love
Ramsay.
Gordon
It's
Ramsay.
hilarious.
Watching him flip out.
Where's
on
the
someone.
lamb sauce? All that shit, dude. It's funny.
Fuck off.
Dude, you know who I love too is that what's that bar rescue dude? You know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Where his John Tafer.
Yeah.
That's who he is. Where he's like, go home, look at yourself in the mirror, and tell yourself you're a fucking failure. I love that shit, dude. That dude is such a
That's
fucking
too good,
gangster.
dude. It's
Love
too
that
good.
dude.
It's hilarious.
Shit.
So we were supposed to have a third guest on. Sorry to tease everybody.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have our first official guest today, but unfortunately timing didn't align. The stars
Yeah.
were off. So I'm going to save it. I'm not going to say who it was, but I'm going to save that special guest for another time.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure it happens, but we will start having guests soon. The reason we put that Kickstarter up is we want to get some more microphones and some more cameras so we can operate this thing a little bit cooler. And right now we can only have one guest at a time. We would like to be able to have two.
We have some people that we have lined up in the future that
Yeah.
it's going to be better if we have both of them on at the same time. So
We want to do, we're trying to reach out to all different types of people. So if you hold some type of special something, you know, you're some type of musician or artist or anything, like you hold some type of special, you breathe fire or, you know.
you just have something to fucking say too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down for whoever, honestly.
Yeah, I'm down for whoever completely, but I would like to get, we're going to open up the gates to guests, and we have some ideas lined up already, but I don't want to give anything away. We're just going to do some really cool things. Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Or you want me to quick throw in the shit again?
Yeah, let's hit them with the social links one more time.
Okay, so if you want to watch the video, obviously YouTube, and I think all you have to do is type in Tall Glass Podcast, right? We don't have our own fancy thing yet.
Yeah, not yet.
unfortunately.
We have to get more subscribers. So if you have a YouTube account, please push subscribe. We have to get to 1,000 subscribers before we can turn this into a financial gain for us.
Sure.
So if you have an account, just hit subscribe. You don't
Tell
have
your
to,
friends.
You don't have to like commit and be like following our channel constantly, but just pushing subscribe helps us get that much closer to turning this into an actual business. which
Yeah, dude.
is what we would like to do.
Also, audio, tallglass.podbean.com. And that's bean as in flicking the bean. You feel me?
Also with Podbean, they will be uploading our audio versions of the episodes to the podcast app, like iTunes and Spotify soon. I think we have to get a minimum of 5 episodes under our belt before they start sending
Yeah, I
them out.
know a lot of people asked me about that. They wanted to.
Yeah, it's
Spotify's
coming.
just,
It's coming. There's just rules that you have
Yeah.
to follow when you're a new thing like this. So we're gonna blast through these episodes, get the 5 under our belt, and then they should start coming up in these apps regularly, and you can sign up for notifications.
Yeah.
All that.
Also, Facebook, find us at Tall Glass Podcast. Instagram, Tall Glass Podcast. Twitter, Tall Glass Pod. Again, Tall Glass Pod, no cast. And then the email, like I said, if you're interested in being a guest or sending us hate mail or trying to fucking start some shit, you want to start some shit?
Bring it.
tallglasspodcast@gmail.com. One last thing, hit us up on Kickstarter, please. And what was the other thing? Fuck. Shit. There was one last important thing I was going to say.
The social media. We got
Yeah,
all
it was
those.
related to that, but I can't fucking remember now.
Womp, womp, womp. Mark's been doing a great job of posting on the social media. Feel free to interact with it.
If you want to.
I actually had he asked a question earlier this week that said, do you have a favorite conspiracy theory? And we had a lot of interactions from people, and I actually pulled from that today while searching for transitions of a new topic to talk about.
Yeah,
so
dude.
it's
So
cool
if you
to have that.
want to, definitely anytime there's a post or anything and you want to hear us talk about it or bring it up or want us to talk about your particular opinion on it, we'll do it. We'll give you a shout out.
Hell yeah.
If you want us to, I don't care.
And
the thing that I remembered.
Go ahead.
So the Kickstarter, we do have one reward on there.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't provide more. But if you donate $100 and you feel comfortable,
Yep.
we are definitely offering you a spot on the show.
For
So-
sure, for sure.
And
And that's not your only way to get on the show, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're feeling generous and you can
Yeah.
afford to do it that way, that would be really
Or
cool.
you're like, I don't know anything, but I really want to be on the show. Maybe this is a cool way. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the sponsor thing. Last thing, I
Yeah.
promise. Again, if you're interested in being a sponsor, I know there's a bunch of different ways that we can go about doing it. I know one way is giving us some of that dough, and then you have a whole fucking year of every episode of the Tall Glass Podcast plugging your business.
Yeah.
So, for example, one last time, I like citrus pies. Daddy's Citrus Pie Co.
Oh,
This episode of the Tall Glass Podcast is sponsored by Daddy's Citrus Pie Co. Use the promo code Tall Glass to get 25% off that citrus yummy.
nom noms.
Make me a key lime pie for my birthday. Bah!
Yo, hey, you. That was really well done for the advertisement
Is this
of
still
the sponsor.
recording?
Yeah, we're still going.
Jesus Christ, cut it.
I will. But good job. Everybody give Mark props for his radio voice selling of a product
Yeah, thank
in
you.
the comments. All right, we're done.
Bye.
Bye.